You following Bronny at all?
Yeah.
You excited for his upcoming career?
Yeah, I want to see what he does next.
Cool, right?
They said he's coming out. He entered the draft. Then he might transfer if you don't want to stay in the draft. And, you know what I'm saying? That are about to come into the league and shit.
That's crazy.
Carlos Boozer.
Nuts.
And Gilbert Arenas.
Man, playing with your son has got to be the coolest thing ever.
I could still be able to do something at 55.
53,
50.
Are you,
56.
you still trying to be playing it?
I want to still be able to move around at 56. I don't want to be a lazy ass 50-year-old.
Yeah.
Right?
What happens when the son of the king tries to dethrone a warrior? We just found out, and it's not what you'd expect. Bronny James, barely out of high school, had the guts to challenge Kevin Durant at the rim. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video, but here's the real question. Did Bronny earn respect or get put in his place? The answer might surprise you. This wasn't just any old block. It was a moment that could define Bronny's entire career. And you know what? KD's reaction afterward? That's the real story here. Picture this. Bronny James steps onto the court fresh out of high school, ready to make his mark. And who's waiting for him? None other than Kevin Durant, one of the greatest scorers the game has ever seen. It's like David versus Goliath, but with more slam dunks and crossovers. Now, Bronny's been putting in work, getting ready for his big moment. But nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. KD's not exactly known for taking it easy on rookies. He's the kind of player who'll make you earn every single point. So how's Bronny gonna handle this? That's the million-dollar question. We're talking about a kid who's been in the spotlight since he could walk.
I mean, I think we've only, in modern time, I mean, I remember when King Griffey Jr. and his dad was on the field together with the Mariners, and to see this, I never thought it was even possible. I believe the first game of the season they're gonna play, I will be at that game. Now, run tell that, October 22nd, Shea gonna be in the house. For the first time in NBA history, oh man, it's nepotism. Half the corporations is nepotism.
But this is a whole different ball game. It's one thing to have cameras following you around because of your famous dad. It's another to go toe-to-toe with a future Hall of Famer in your first preseason game. KD's seen it all, done it all. He's got more accolades than most players dream of. Even he was caught off guard by what happened next. You know what's wild? Bronny didn't back down. Not even a little bit. He stepped up to the challenge like he'd been playing in the league for years. So there's Bronny, ball in hand, staring down one of the best defenders in the game. The tension in the arena is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Everyone's holding their breath, wondering what's gonna happen next. And then, boom! Bronny goes for the dunk, and KD tries to block him. But here's the kicker. This wasn't just any old play. This was a moment that could define Bronny's entire career. It's the kind of play that people talk about for years, the kind that gets replayed on highlight reels over and over again. You've got to understand, Durant was actually hyped to play against Bronny. Before the game, he said, "The whole moment is pretty sweet. There's going to be a lot of games throughout the year I'm looking forward to seeing with them." But I bet he didn't expect Bronny to come at him like that. The crowd at Footprint Center, they lost their minds. It was like watching history in the making. 1 second, it's just another preseason game, and the next, it's absolute chaos. People who were there say they've never heard anything like it.
With the 55th overall pick in the second round, LeBron and his son now officially have the opportunity to be the first father-son duo to play in the NBA at the same time. Bronny James, thank God, he's in this position. If y'all remember, he suffered cardiac arrest last year while on the campus of USC. We didn't know what his status was. I don't give a damn about him averaging less than 5 points. I don't care about his numbers or anything like that. You heard about his athleticism. You heard about his defensive prowess. You heard about the potential that he may have.
And get this, Bronny played for 17 whole minutes in that game. He might have only scored 4 points and grabbed 2 rebounds. But those stats don't tell the whole story. It's not about the numbers, it's about the impact. It's about a rookie having the guts to challenge one of the best in the game. Now, you'd think KD would be all business on the court, right? Well, hold that thought. His response to Bronny's gutsy play left everyone stunned. What could make one of the fiercest competitors in the league react in a way that's got fans and analysts buzzing? Let's break it down. Kevin Durant isn't just any player. He's a scoring machine, a defensive wall, and a guy who's seen it all in the NBA. When rookies come at him, he usually shuts them down without breaking a sweat. But Bronny, that was different. When Bronny went up for that dunk, everyone held their breath. Would KD swat it into next week? Would he embarrass the rookie? Nope. Instead, KD's face after the play was something you couldn't script if you tried. It was a mix of surprise, respect, and maybe even a little bit of, okay, I see you, kid. Here's the thing. KD's been in the league longer than Bronny's been alive. He's faced the best of the best, from LeBron to Kobe to Steph. This moment, it was something new. It was like watching the past and future of basketball collide in mid-air. Imagine being in KD's shoes for a second. You've seen every move in the book, right? But then this kid comes along. Well, LeBron's son, no less. And he's not backing down. He's coming right at you like he belongs there. That's gotta do something to you, even if you're Kevin Durant. And you know what? KD's reaction wasn't just about that one play. It was about seeing the future of the NBA right in front of him. It was like he suddenly realized, oh, this is what's coming next. And let me tell you, that look on his face, it spoke volumes. After the game, KD even joked about it on social media. When a fan commented about him blocking LeBron's son, Durant hit back with, "Damn, I'm old." It's not often you see KD getting all sentimental, but this moment, it got to him. But here's where it gets really interesting. Before the game, KD was actually hyped to play against Bronny. He said, "The whole moment is pretty sweet. There's gonna be a lot of games throughout the year I'm looking forward to seeing with them." Little did he know just how sweet that moment would be. Sweet moments in basketball are common, but earth-shattering ones, those are rare. When Bronny went up for that dunk, he didn't just challenge KD, he ignited a powder keg of emotions that had been building for years. How did one rookie's bold move manage to turn a quiet preseason game into an unforgettable spectacle? Let's talk about that crowd. 1 second it's just another preseason game, and the next, absolute chaos. You've got to understand, preseason games aren't usually the most exciting. Most of the time, you see half-empty arenas with fans barely paying attention. But this one, totally different story. The moment Bronny went up for that dunk, you could feel the energy shift. It was like someone flipped a switch, and suddenly everyone in the building was on their feet. People who were there, they say they've never heard anything like it. We're talking about a roar that shook the rafters. You've got fans of both teams, neutral observers, everyone just losing their minds. It wasn't just cheering, it was screaming, shouting, jumping up and down. And get this, it wasn't just the fans. The players on the bench, they were going crazy too. You had guys who've been in the league for years acting like they were watching their first NBA game. That crowd reaction, it wasn't just noise. It was a sign that Bronny had arrived. It was like the whole arena was saying, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid." And you know what's even crazier? Some people are saying it was louder than playoff games they've been to. That's insane. One fan on social media put it perfectly. KD blocking LeBron's son in an NBA game sounds crazy. And it was crazy. The whole Footprint Center was electric. You had people who came to watch a casual preseason game, suddenly witnessing what felt like a pivotal moment in NBA history. And here's the thing, this wasn't just about Bronny. It was about the past, present, and future of basketball all colliding in one incredible moment. You had KD representing the current generation of superstars, going up against Bronny, the next generation, and hovering over it all, the legacy of LeBron James. The echoes of that play didn't stop when the final buzzer sounded. In fact, that's when things really got interesting. How did a single preseason moment manage to set the internet on fire and potentially alter the course of Bronny's basketball journey? You'd think after the game ends, that's it, right? Not even close. This play, it took on a life of its own. Usually preseason highlights don't make much noise. They come and go, forgotten by the next day. But this one, it was different. It was special. Social media absolutely exploded. Everyone and their grandma had an opinion. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, people were talking about Bronny versus KD. The big question on everyone's mind, was Bronny ready for the big leagues? I mean, going at Kevin Durant like that takes some serious guts. And it wasn't just fans weighing in. NBA players were all over this. Guys who've been in the league for years were impressed. Even coaches were talking about it. You know it's a big deal when people who've seen it all are buzzing about a preseason play. But here's where it gets wild. Some folks are saying this could change Bronny's whole career trajectory. Think about that for a second. One play in a preseason game, and suddenly, everyone's expectations are different. Before, he was just LeBron's kid. Now, he's Bronny James, the guy who wasn't afraid to challenge KD. You know what's crazy? Even people who don't usually care about sports were sharing the clip. It was everywhere. Your aunt who thinks a basketball's a type of fruit. Even she probably saw it. That's how you know something's big if this wasn't just about basketball anymore. It was about a torch being passed. You've got KD, one of the best to ever do it, and Bronny representing the next generation. In that one moment, it was like, we got a glimpse of the future of the NBA. So what does all this mean for Bronny, KD, and the NBA? It's like we just saw a glimpse into the future of basketball. Bronny's not just LeBron's kid anymore. He's making his own name, his own way. And KD, he's seen it all, but even he was impressed. You know what's wild? This could be the start of something huge. Bronny's showing he's got what it takes to hang with the best. And the NBA, it's about to get a whole lot more exciting. Basketball isn't just a game, folks. It's moments like these that make legends. So keep your eyes on Bronny. This might just be the beginning of an epic NBA story, the kind we'll be talking about for years to come.